Steele Sidebottom spoke to the media today and gave us a little bit of insight of the ebbs and flows for Collingwood's season in 2024, as well as his unknown towards the back end of his season, whether he would be able to play on, and talks about what now we can look forward to in 2025 and what to expect. So let's have a look at this right here.
Collingwood's Steele Sidebottom admits that there were times in 2024 where he wasn't sure if he'd play on next season. Now he and the Pies are all in as they chase a second premiership in 3 years.
I was a little bit in the dark over where I was at, probably, heading into the latter end of the season. So to finish off the season strong and, on a personal sense was good as well. And I'm as excited.
So it's interesting to see there that he said that he was a little bit left in the dark towards that back end of 2024, it must be an ominous time for a player who is 33 years old and was a part of a real struggle of a season for the club and its entirety.
I feel like our time is now. We've got a great list. As I said, we've brought some great guys.
So he goes out and announces it to the general media that it's Collingwood's time and it's now. I'm pretty sure it's obvious to see if you do zoom out and look at the entirety of the picture and the landscape for Collingwood right now. 2025 is going to be our biggest opportunity. Not to say that 2026 we're going to see an avalanche sort of fall for Collingwood, but that's what we're looking at the moment, with 2025 being our most auspicious time to strike while the iron is hot, so to speak. What we didn't see in that footage was some extended conversations with Steele that is in this report here. And he talks about saying how he's a beneficiary of the club's optimism about its status despite missing out on finals in 2024. And it's probably those last 5 games where we saw Steele Sidebottom thrive in a tagging, run with midfield sort of role. And he says it's probably a little bit all out for a flag, which is also great for him because once you go in a different direction, as he says, usually the youngsters are going to take precedence. That's when we really do roll the dice on Ed Allen, Finn McRae, Reef McInnes. But because of what we're able to achieve and bounce back with what we did late in the season, this is why players like Sidebottom, Pendlebury, Howie, Hoskin Elliott, these guys, and Mason Cox, Tom Mitchell, they're all being granted. I don't think Tom Mitchell had a contract extension, but the rest have been granted contract extensions for another year. And it's close to the last dance for these guys in particular. There is a chance we might have to hit a 2-3 year rebuild when we bring in McGuan, Alex Condon, these types of players. So he's saying it without fully admitting it's kind of the last dance, but it isn't. It's interesting the language he's using. But he also talks about the fact that once he had that 7 disposable game against, it was Essendon on Anzac Day here, he found himself a little bit everywhere last season, which we know he was playing on the wing, which was usually, it was the Steele Sidebottom wing. That was his position week in, week out for the last 2, 3, maybe 4 years, right? And then things weren't going quite well. We were struggling with our ball movement, and he moves to halfback, and that doesn't quite work out. And then he goes back to the wing, and then Isaac Quain was put on the wing. We deploy Steele Sidebottom into the middle. So if I can draw your attention to some of the stats late in Steele Sidebottom's season in 2024, we can see the game against Sydney. This is when the role really, really changed. What we're looking at, it starts to get some midfield time consistently in the last 3 games. Has that lockdown job on Errol Goulden, playing on the wing, rotating through the middle. Wherever he goes, he'll be there with Goulden, collects 21 touches, gets 5 coaches' votes. In his next game against Brisbane, 26 disposals, runs with Lachie Neale, does an absolute job on him, does as much as he can on him anyways, and gets 81% midfield time. No coaches' votes there, but I remember him playing extremely well that game. And then we have the final game against Melbourne, more coaches' votes to add to the tally, 22 touches and a goal to go with it, with 70% midfield time. So that's what effectively saved him, and that's why we're going to see Steele Sidebottom in 2025. And he's really optimistic about where we can go. So let's follow suit and believe in what they're saying. You can see the way we've set up ourselves to go to kickstart the preseason with the acquisitions in the trade period, And we're going to find out tonight about who we're going to pick up with our ladder picks in the second round or the second night of the draft. So I'll be doing a live stream for that at 7 o'clock. Hopefully we can pick up 2 key position players. I think we'll probably take 3 players in total. We have 5 picks going into the night. I think we take 3 players and we may pass on the other 2 because we need to re-rookie Ash Johnson and Oleg Markov. So we need that space. So while we can take 5 picks into the draft, doesn't mean we can use those 5 picks. Otherwise, we will have no space for Ash Johnson and Oleg Markov to rejoin us at Collingwood. So I'll see you guys tonight and let me know what you think. Did you find any interest in the fact that Steele Sidebottom was a little bit unsure of maybe where his career was heading towards the back end of this season, or is that completely obvious? Go Pies.